You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive. Well, of the 33 chosen passengers, Ramnat, Pandey, Humphrey and Sudama, they wouldn't let the poor driver drive.
And let me say a special good afternoon to everybody inside the Radio Land. The Igwe.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon.
Another independent talk.
And I must apologize for the late start due to the inclement weather.
Yeah, the weather bad.
But we on and we in full flow. Independent Talk, good afternoon, KB. Independent Talk is the talk show where everything is being discussed. Political, social, spiritual, religious, anything. And it is independent talk. So before we do, first things first, I need to read a portion of scripture, KB, with your permission.
Yeah.
Matthew 7:16-20. By their fruits you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Everything that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruits, you will recognize them. So in this independent talk today, by their fruits, you will know them. I need not say no more. The book of scripture, it is simple. As you say, the law of the Lord is perfect. It comforts the soul. The testimony of the Lord is true. It makes wise the simple, KB. So as we usually do, I give way to the senior man, KB. It's all yours now.
Thank you, Master Carl. Good afternoon, listeners for Real FM. Happy to be here once again. And Master Carl, the people's cry. People continue to cry. The economic situation in this country become unbearable. And next year, come January, the economic situation will be bleaker and bleaker, will be worse. As to how the NDC will handle it, we don't know. Whether people will accept it or understand the reason for the severe economic problem they will encounter, I don't know. Brothers and sisters, we will always mention, we'll always alert you to study your history well. Failure to do so there's a strong possibility you will repeat the mistake of the past. I studied the history of the revolution inside out. And there is time I compare what went on, some of the mistake we made in the revolution, to some of the mistake we are making in our society today. I was lying in my cell one night, about 12 o'clock in the night, during the revolution. Then I heard a knock on my cell. I wake up and I saw it was one of my best friends in the revolution, Cecil Prime, stripes on his shoulder. And I said, Cecil, what are you doing in the prison that hour in the night? And he said, KB, I'm doing my revolutionary duty. But before, a couple days before, we had received credible information from State Department that a high-power revolutionary left Grenada, bypassed Cuba, and go straight to the Soviet Union for directive and training. And on his return, they will take over from Maurice Bishop and go further left. Winston White, Teddy Victor, Lyde Noel, Leslie Pierre, all of them who had access to that information had problem analyzing it. So I was asked to sit in. Both myself and Ryan Naik said to them, for this thing to make sense, somebody close to Bishop, like Unison Whiteman, have to betray Morris. Otherwise the people will never understand. But Code and his clique send some people outside, you understand, to do some investigation to find out if the people will understand. They came back and they told them the people will understand. It happened. After that conversation, Cecil Prime left. But before, I said, Cecil, let me tell you something. This move you all want to make, the people have to reach a level of development. You have to raise the political consciousness. When there is no goods on the shelf, they must understand why, and they must agree with you. Your PRA must suck a mango and go and keep duty, and they must understand why and agree with you. If they don't reach that level of development, you will fail. What you are planning will fail. The people will never understand. So he left my cell, and as he walked down the corridor, he was talking to himself, and he was saying, no, KB, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. But I understand. Today, 1-to-1 Grenadians, we are facing terrible, terrible economic crisis after this budget from January. Presently, people limboing under the high cost of living and high utility bills. The government haven't got a clue as how to solve this problem. Went in the shop the other day. After purchasing some groceries, he had a headmaster behind me. After he paid for his, he came out and he said, KB, the cost of living is really high in this country. How people making it? I turn and I look at him. This was coming from a headmaster. And I ask myself, what will a single mother be saying? How will they react? People with 4 or 5 children in the home, with no one working, what will happen to them? NDC, hoping that the people will understand too. Code and thought the people was going to understand when they put Morris under house arrest. NDC hoping that when tough economic situation is faced by the public, the people will understand. But the people will not understand. NDC, the people will not understand, because every day they are faced with severe economic hardship. It will not understand. It reach a stage where the NDC are already sending warning. They cannot afford more than 2 fortnights for the Christmas. Baby Jesus already sent the warning. Concrete work in the different community will be a thing of the past. So one of the big men went to the prison and warned the prison officers, hey, look, things are so nice. The NDC may have to retrench some people. Even the budget for the Imani, they said, hey, we have to cut back on that budget for the Imani. Some or most of the Imani will be going home. The last financial meeting indicate that things will be very bleak next year. As to how the Grenadian people will manage, we don't know. It will become worse and worse. As someone tell me, said KB, that $5 gas tax we took off, we may have to put it back, because we're losing about $60 million for the year. We can't afford it. Now the teachers, the civil servants engage in salary negotiation. We have to find additionally millions again every month. Pension. Civil servant pension will be another headache. After we pay the 70 million, we have to start paying every month. Where will the money coming from? So the situation look bleak for the NDC going forward. All we do have now, we could rely, is passport. And for the end of the year, the NDC will be selling at least 1,000 passports. And there is rumor before, it was Chinese. Before you hear anything, it's Chinese, putting all the blame on Chinese. Everything is Chinese. No. Credible source that a lot of Russian might be heading for Grenada. They want to evade the draft in the Soviet Union. So it wouldn't be Chinese, it might be Russian, because they're becoming desperate. They're becoming very desperate. They don't see where the money coming from. So a lot of this social program the NNP had act as a buffer, stimulate the economy, keep people working, and keep people quiet. The NDC might have to done away with a lot of the social program. Money become very scarce. But they all believe the people will understand. You see that $530 million the NNP left? That will be an albatross on the NDC neck. I'll tell you why. If Dr. Mitchell had left that treasury empty, people might excuse them and say, hey, Dr. Mitchell left the treasury empty, so you can't blame them. But no, they cannot say that. They meet a stable country, strong economy, and over $530 million. So there is no excuse. No excuse. They cannot blame it on NNP. It's them now. The situation is very bleak. Why are we hoping that the NNP prepare themselves to capitalize on the shortcoming? We must prepare ourselves in different constituencies, get all the constituencies ready, up running, and capitalize on the mistake and the shortcoming of the NDC, because the economic situation looks very, very bleak. The unemployment situation will rise. Runaway inflation, high cost of living. It will be difficult for people to survive as from next year. The honeymoon of NDC is over. I thought they was going to make a year by paying the pension, the retroactive payment and so on. But even that can't save the NDC. Even that can't help them. The people will not understand, because Codenham thought when they jail Bishop and they go and explain to the people will understand. As I tell Cecil Prime, the people political level and the political consciousness, every that level, they would not understand. So, the NDC cannot ask for more time and say 5 years not enough. Give them a next 5 years. The people will not give them a next 5 years, because the people will never understand. When you're hungry, you can't send your children to school. You can't pay your bills. And every day, you're faced with the same crisis, the same economic crisis. Some people will not think well. They can't think well. They can't sleep in the night. You understand? They will want to get rid of that system and that government as quick as possible. So the NNP must prepare themselves now. Don't wait. Prepare yourself now in every constituency, in every village. Organize, mobilize, you understand? Raise funds, have social activities, recruit new people, register new supporters, and get yourself prepared and ready to take power as soon as they sleep. In the south, it is shaky with Bongsa check down there. Even in St. George's Northeast, with Run Redhead, is shaky with their relationship. So we can't sit back and fold our arms. We have to get up, brace ourselves, steady ourselves, and prepare to take the fight to them. But we all have to do it together. We have to unite as one party, as one under one leader, and take this party forward and prepare to capitalize on the mistake and the shortcoming of the NDC. Brothers and sisters, I want you to take your politics serious. We're asking for volunteers. Those who want to work for the party We don't have money to pay people to work now. We're looking for volunteers. Real NNP we're looking for now. You can call the party office. You can call Master Call and give your name and say, I raise my hand. I lift my hand. I prepare to work for the NNP. I prepare to sacrifice for the NNP. I prepare to work for my country and sacrifice for my country and volunteer your service. Come on board and help build the organization to take political power in the near future, because it looks bright for the NNP going forward. It looks dull for the NDC in the future. So don't slip up. Don't fold your arm and hope this thing will fall in your hands like ripe plum. No, it won't happen so. It wouldn't happen so. They will go all out to maintain power. But you, the NNP, could assist us in denying them power in next election by coming on board. Go in your constituency and form your little village group. If it's 8 of you, 6 of you, get together and raise funds and build the party organization, build the party structure, strengthen the pillars of the new national party. We are appealing to you all. Some of you all, after the election, all you go and sleep. You say you're a strong NNP, but you don't even call in and tell Shaggy good morning. What you say you're strong in NP. No, we want more than that. We want you to call, be on social media, call this program, you understand? And air your views. It's important we move forward as a team. It's important we hear your views. It's important you take part and ventilate. This year will be crucial for the NNP and both the NDC going forward. Master Carl.
Let's take a break and we'll come back.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize, they say, the new driver cannot drive.
Yeah, we're back.
Yes, we're back.
Yes, Igwe.
Yes, Igwe. Grenada is my constituency. Real FM happens to be my parliament. And I'm the people's spokesman because they elect me Gates. And I'm blessed by the Ancient of Days, so I need not worry. Yes, just to speak a little on what KB introduced. First, NNP. Speaking to NNP here now. The leadership issue is one that will be settled in its time. At this present moment, Dr. Keith Mitchell is the leader of the NNP, and so it is. So we have to give all our support to the leader. We have a democratic party and we practice democracy. So don't be misled by the distractors who are telling you what should happen in your party. Let them concern about what should happen in theirs. Now, KB outlined something instructive here, and I hope people understood. You know. When he got the visit in the cells in His Majesty's prison, and he explained to the gentleman what it is, they didn't listen. And the actions of October 1983 happened, and the PRG then panicked. We see what's happening now. This present administration is in a panic mode. So what they do, they will set out certain things to attack. And one of the things they're trying to tell people, oh, we don't hear in Dr. Keith Mitchell. All that is strategies used, so you have to understand the strategies. And the portion of scripture, folks, was not given today by any accident. By their fruits you shall know them. Because before this administration came into power, we knew very little or nothing about them. So they managed to say and promise and give impression, and we didn't take it serious. As I was talking to a friend of mine, KB, and he told me, Master Carl, when carnival time come, everybody listening jump up and whine. And then when carnival done, they saying, but that song was a good song, but they didn't have time to listen. Now is the time, Gates. Now is the time that people have the time to listen and understand and to know and to learn the National Democratic Congress and the persons in governance. So you have nothing now, KB, distracting any person from listening to this parliament on Real FM as to the fruits of the people in charge of this country, KB. If you're not a good tree, KB, you cannot bear good fruits. And good trees cannot bear bad fruits. Thus saith the Lord, not me. So if there are problem with that saying, KB, take it up with the Ancient of Days when they go to church. And when the church friends praying, ask him, not me, they are not my words. So they could go back to Matthew 7, verse 16 and 20, and he say, all fruits come from old trees. You cannot be a good tree and bear old fruits. Thus saith the Lord. So ask yourself, are what we see now good fruit or old fruits? The wardens need to ask themselves if what is impending for them is old fruits or good fruits. The imanis need to take stock of themselves and realize what is the fruits prepared for them now. And only them could answer this question, KB. The nearly 600 people what lose their work since this administration came, Igwe, they need to ask themselves and answer this question, and them and only them could answer the question, is it good fruit or bad fruit? And relate that to Matthew 7, 16 and 20. Relate your condition now. Village shops, barbers, and beautician, because you heard here on Friday we play the clip. And we had the clip again, we could play it, you know, it. With the Honorable Ron they talk about barbers and nail thing. So you barbers and beauticians, ask yourself, is it good fruit or bad fruit? And you and only you could answer this question. I could only ask you the question, but the answers would come from you and only you. Now, let's go to the meat of the matter, KB. If you don't remember your history, KB, you're doomed to make the same mistakes.
Over and over.
As Mr. Joseph Andal, the Honorable Joseph Andal, said on the campaign trail in 2008 to 2013, 4 years, 7 months, and 19 days, the NDC made a political mistake with the e-money. That was his words. And I want them to challenge me because I had a clip to play where he's saying that. And are we seeing the same thing now? Because there is information, KB, to suggest that come January 1st, all e-monies 35 and up, they'll get a letter. Would that be good fruits or bad fruits for those people, KB? And that is the crux of the matter. So all the shenanigans and all the old talk about the payment of retroactive, KB. Retroactive payment as regards to pension, KB, is not a gift. Is not a gratis by the present Prime Minister. It is an obligation, and the people work and qualify for the money, KB. So when they come and tell me we should thank the PM, thank him for what? It is an obligation, and after much of this year, KB, any government at the helm in Grenada must pay the money. Even so much as because this present administration know they must pay the money. The AG call on the friends in the union. The Prime Minister call on the friends in the union to come and sit with them and have pension reform, what Dr. Kit Mitchell been talking about since last year. So they late with that, KB.
Yeah, they late with that one.
So they're not getting no marks for the retroactive because it is an obligation.
Yeah.
The state must pay from the consolidated fund. The money though coming from the Prime Minister is not no gift. But if you're so concerned and you want credence for the money, what about the workers who, and I don't even talk about all the workers, KB. I only talking about what about the workers who work in government circles and they're not in a pensionable position. What are you doing? If you want credence and you want to beat your chest, KB, what are you doing for the workers in government circles who are not in pensionable position? The rural constables in the police and order the cleaners and so on. But we have seen, KB, a serious assault on even the cleaners, in the market and KB. By his fruits you shall know them. So KB, so when they sit down in posh places like the Savory place, eating and drinking and posting pictures and lying to the nation and say, isn't that unity? Spare thought, KB, for the over 500 women of most of them, KB, are single parent who you do causing to have a job. KB, to them, KB, as you tell me, KB, 800 to them is a little bit. For these people, KB, $800 is a lot. They have to pay the bills and other things. But you there in this Savory place, you posting all kind of picture to the media and saying, isn't that unity? When you know you're lying for the nation and you know it's far from unity. Because you know senior persons had to come and speak to the people in the party for them not to go. And you do spare thought for the single mothers or the KB. By the fruits you shall know them.
Of course.
So I didn't make up by the fruits you shall know them.
Yeah, man.
I'm only bringing it to light because the fact remains, how could you go and take out Peter's gates in school when you opening, and in those very school your children that can come to school because you mess up the voucher position? By his fruits, by the fruits you shall know them, KB. So if they don't care for the less fortunate among us, and the Bible, the same scripture say, KB, if you taking advantage on poor people and poor people children, is an abomination, KB. By their fruits you will know them, KB.
People will never understand.
So you sit and you allow cost of living to rise by taking no measures, and I look forward to the measures you might take in the budget, KB. And even poor people, children, KB, what had a little relief from the same budget you call tokenism, an election budget, cause you to have millions in the treasury when you inherit it. And yet still, you take off the 25% non-fuel charge on poor people. You slam the bricks on them. By their fruits, KB, you shall know them. That is the fruit.
Whose interest they seek?
That is the fruit.
Whose
And we
interest
now
they
have
seek?
the opportunity, KB,
Yeah.
to compare and to contrast the NDC in governance and the NNP. When cost of living came to a point and the people shouted, Dr. Kit Mitchell and the NNP in the last budget, KB, brought in some measures, a basket of food items, 0 rated. Electricity, the 25% non-fuel charge, and KB, you mentioned it earlier, a cap on gas. But the administration then recognized, KB, we have to cap gas to help the citizens, but at the same time, the revenue we're receiving from gas is necessary to cause this country to thrive. Is necessary for stability, real and social stability. And that is the crux of the matter. So when we talk about institutional knowledge, KB, when we talk about arrogance, youthful arrogance, and when we talk about inexperience, it is at play presently. By their fruits you shall know them. KB, you said salary negotiations is on. And there's information to suggest, KB, that this present administration is offering 4%, but you need to raise those revenue. But you refuse to take the tax on freight because you're big friends, big business. You benefit in them. And the small man with that monies from the freight would help the economy. You don't have it. You don't have the 550 on gas. KB, as you say, at the end of the year, is ballpark around 61 million. You don't have that at your disposal. And you're telling me you love people and you love this country. But you're selling down this country, or you're putting it in a precarious position, KB, on the precipice going forward into this. And KB, you rightly said, KB, come next year, we will really see.
Pressure.
Because they're still operating
Yeah.
under the auspices of the last budget by the former administration. They still receive monies in the treasury, in so much as one of the ministers said to you, KB, Kit Mitchell Wikidi should have paid the money. But KB, let me deal with this issue about pay the money now. The ruling was in March, KB. Dr. Kit Mitchell then said, we're not appealing
The matter.
the matter because we recognize it's something for the workers. However, there is not one set of workers in this country, and we need to address this thing proper. Because if we don't address it proper, it could have ramifications down the road for the economy. They say Dr. Kit Mitchell lied. They say he don't want to pay. Dr. Kit Mitchell said it is an opportune time that we recognize pension reform is a necessity. They say, oh, he's just saying that because he don't want to pay. He said we need to have a committee to advise us as to the way forward.
Put a committee in place.
They say he's playing for time. And the committee had to bring back information in 3 months, even before this money start pay. But they say Dr. Kit Mitchell didn't want to pay. So that's the narrative they're pushing, eh?
Yeah, before.
No.
They
He
got-
also spoke, KB, about cash flow in the economy will determine how the payments are made. They say the man lying. Only to find out the AG was in the people's house saying the same thing the man said. Only to find out that the Honorable Prime Minister now talks about pension reform, KB. And the same committee, when he said he don't want committee, he go borrow to pay. By their fruits, KB, you shall know them. So all who saying about didn't want to pay and why didn't pay the money, there was a process, KB. And you had to gather information to pay. It took this administration this time to gather the information. But you're beating up on the past administration for not paying. Like they could have said abracadabra. And then the information would have come. It was a matter of fact, KB, of collecting the data to know who qualify and who's not. So when people come saying out why didn't pay the money, even NNP people will say that, you know.
Yeah.
Know this and understand that it was a process to happen. Because when the ruling came, KB, in March, it make it a must.
Yeah.
An obligation.
Any government
must pay. Not no gift and gratis by this present Prime Minister. It must pay. Because you know if you don't pay, individuals could have taken him to court and win.
Yes.
So when we talk about the pension, we have to understand the issues. And those who say Dr. Kit Mitchell could have paid, who would have pay? The ruling court in March, who would have paid before June? Where was the data? Where was the information? These are the things we have to understand. And we as a party have to realize now is the time that we regroup one.
Yeah.
We reorganize two. We put structure in three. We remain united.
Yeah.
And united behind the leadership of the party. Now is not time for we to say he and she and them. Now the time we remain united and we do what we have to do and prepare for the fallout, KB. Because if the Empress in Guava and others decide to give up the Emperor to us, we have to be ready to take it.
Of course, yes.
So anytime the Empress, the two jokers, and the unmatching ace, and the unmatching jack, he will decide to give up the Emperor, the new national party must be ready
Take up their mantle.
to pick up the mantle and bring back a form of governance that this country get accustomed to. And in so much, they got complacent to KB. And complacency, KB, lead us to where we are now.
Of course, yes.
And that is why I say, KB, if you forget your history,
Repeat it.
is problem. So, when we speak about the fruits, KB, by the fruits you shall know them. Understanding, KB, what needs to be done. And we don't run around like headless chicken and blaming each and other. We have to take collective responsibility, KB.
Yeah, man.
We have, as a party and members, need to take collective responsibility for where we are at this time and recognizing what we need to do going forward and recognizing the best way or the best formula going forward ought to be decided by the party leadership and membership of the party.
Correct.
People outside want to come and give us advice and telling you how they don't hear in Kit Mitchell and how do they hear in. Because when Kit Mitchell was speaking during election time, they didn't listen to him. Men saying he did too long. Men saying he old. And men saying they want opposition. But a prominent politician in the region say, KB, if you go into an election voting for opposition, you will get a government you don't want. Is it a fact that we have a government now that we didn't really want? Because all we ask of government is good government. But as the scripture say, by their fruits you shall know them. And they had to get the opportunity to fruit, you know, KB.
Oh, yes.
Because if they didn't get the opportunity to fruit,
We will not know them.
we would not know, you know, KB. So, the young lady who was leading the COVID stimulus thing, the whole thing they thinking, with Senator Britain and them doing the thing. You know, KB, what is interesting, the woman on maternity leave, you know, KB. And the treasurer of the NDC holding papers, you know. Some Andrea Senborn at KB, you see, by their fruits you shall know them. KB, so you realize what's going on in this country. So when I say here in the People's Parliament, this thing is a cabal. I want people to go to the dictionary and look up the meaning of cabal. And they go understand By their fruits you shall know them. And that is what we're dealing with, KB. And that is how we must understand what here is at play, KB. And that is the crux of the matter. So we have to understand, KB, that we need to be, as a party and a people, ready for any
Capitalize on the
eventuality.
mistakes.
And we cannot allow them to get away. Because they didn't allow NNP to get away. Anything NNP did, they was on it.
Yes.
We need to be more vocal.
Okay.
KB, so we'll take a break here and be back.
Take
Listen.
some.
This is Caribbean Vibe.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-Con, and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with my wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive.
Holy Willy Gui.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
The number to call is what?
442-0175.
4.
Do we have a call?
No, not yet.
And Igwe, before we go, I mentioned the word cabal.
Yeah.
A cabal is a secret political clique of faction. So when I speak here, Igwe, I don't just come and whoop. And what we seen, because we heard of the Queen, we heard of the two jokers. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon to KB and Mr. Call.
How are you?
Not bad, just holding on. And as you said, we have to recoup ourselves in unity, love, and cooperation right now. And we, the new National Party, suppose that if we stand up and be in that strength and that unity, we will see Anne's belly. So as I continue to listen here, let us continue to pray, bind ourselves together, and continue to pray for our leaders of the National Party. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right.
Beautiful.
442-75.
01.
So Igwe, like I was saying, the cabal.
Yeah.
Because we heard about the Queen.
Yeah.
We heard about the two jokers. We hear about the unmatching ace and an unmatching jack. That spells the meaning of cabal. A secret political clique, KB, or fraction.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, brethren.
Good afternoon.
I have a few questions for you, KB and Mastercard.
So go right ahead.
So, question number one. Mastercard, I find you have so much things to say about the government that is just 4-5 months old. But I'm wondering if you didn't have no advice to give that you could not have 5 months ago prior to them losing the election. Do you want to answer?
Yeah, but caller, if you've been listening to Real FM for a while, I'm not saying anything different than I'm saying 1 year ago.
All right. I've been following the program for the last few weeks. And I noticed you guys are championing the return of NNP in the next election. Let's say like 2027, whenever it is. Now, I'm seeing NNP now as in the same position NDC was in prior to the inclusion of Baker Mitchell, which I would describe as they were in a leadership crisis. And if you listen to people on the ground, and then you say the masses rule sometimes, or it's what the people say. If you listen to a lot of mouths on the ground, you would hear statements like, time for Dr. Mitchell to go. And if you advocate in NNP to come back in next election, and they're into that same leadership crisis by the time next election is held, how would they go back into power when they just lose the power with the same existing condition? And because there are people who believe, and maybe statistics might even prove that the presence of Dr. Mitchell in the last election and some of the claims and some of the generally his presence in the election was one of the main cause of the party losing the election. In the fact that he had promised to go on 2 occasions and didn't go, and then the fact that he had also made a statement that he couldn't find an internal leader.
All right, caller.
Okay then.
I get it. So here goes. First, caller. As the same National Democratic Congress has proven, because the caller view is KB, that the third leader, NDC didn't have a leader. But as the same NDC has proven, a leader emerged. Leaders emerge. We have a fallacy about pointing X, Y, and Z and saying them is leaders, KB. Leaders emerge. Secondly, if you do a SWOT analysis, KB, of the result of the last polls, and KB, we still mention, and you and me had that conversation a lot of times, that politics is grassroots and the connection with people, KB. And if you check the result and the person who won, KB, as against the person who lose, you go recognize most of those persons who lose, the personal connection in the constituency was not what it's supposed to be, KB. Fact. We might not like that, but it's facts.
It's facts.
Check all the candidates who lost and check the connection to the constituency, the personal connection to the constituency.
He wasn't there.
You could see all the winners. And let me start from Karikou. Tevin and the people. He was all the right with them, KB. You check St. Patrick's West. And that has been around for a very long time. Here are thing. You check the East. And if you go and you check candidate by candidate, KB, and check the connection with the constituency, you'll understand. And the other part about Dr. Keith Mitchell, what one has to understand. What is the true base of the NNP, KB?
Who not talking?
And who
Kiwi.
and who do they take their lead from, Igwe? So in carrying out a SWOT analysis, a lot of things ought to be considered. And like I say earlier on Gates, all NNP people have to take collective responsibility for the defeat. Pointing the finger at Dr. Keith Mitchell is not helping the situation. Every person ought to take collective responsibility. Because, listen, election came, the result was what it is. But myself and KB never hide. We recognize where shortcoming was, where our failures was. And since then, we've been putting in the work to remedy those situations. We could have just sit idly by and point finger. But that don't help in the party now. We have to, and as KB always say, we need to have those difficult conversations honestly. And no use when you meet me, you telling me one thing, and when you meet KB, you telling him something different. That is not how we do it. Yes, KB?
I just want to zero in on the leader, on the caller, where he said Dr. Mitchell made several statements that he going. We could only operate on facts, what we have before us. All we have is Dr. Mitchell said this election will be his last. We have no additional information where Dr. Mitchell changed his mind. So we stick in as what Dr. Mitchell said. This is his last. Here you have Roland Bola made statement openly to the public. We don't need to hurry into any convention. Why hurry? Why hurry to a convention, right? So he suggests that the convention is going to be somewhere in the second quarter or next year. So that's what we had. Anytime Roland Bola speak, he speak on behalf of the party, not on himself. So the NNP have to focus on what the evidence before them. You understand? What we have is Dr. Mitchell say, hey, I'll not be going back. We're sticking with that.
You have to trust him with the
truth. You
have
to trust Dr. Mitchell with the truth. You can't suggest that Dr. Mitchell said that, but he don't mean that. Or Roland Bola make that statement, but he don't mean that. NDC could make that statement, like Baby Jesus could say, look, tell the Imani, hey, I could give you a permanent job, but he don't mean that. He could say, hey, contract worker, I could make you permanent, but he don't mean that. We have to trust our leaders with the truth. We're going along with what Dr. Mitchell said. He said, hey, I will not be going back. If Dr. Mitchell change his mind, Dr. Mitchell will be bold enough to come and say, look, I changed my mind. As far as we know, we have no evidence Dr. Mitchell changed his mind.
Okay,
as far as we know, we have no evidence that convention will be postponed. So, Carla, we believe in the democratic process, and never in the history of NNP, you can accuse point a finger at Dr. Mitchell where he tried to subvert the electoral process or try to stifle anybody who oppose him, who attack him. So I feel we have right to trust the leader with the truth.
But KB,
Are we sticking with that?
I like to deal with the real issues. And here this, KB. The narrative of time for Dr. Keith Mitchell to go came from the National Democratic Congress. The campaign on that. The second point about it is, KB, if NNP as an organization really agreed it was time for Dr. Keith Mitchell to go, you think NNP would get 28,000 votes, KB? Ask yourself that question. If NNP as the caller wants to suggest, thought it was ready for Dr. Keith Mitchell to go, you think 28,000 NNP people would have voted for Dr. Mitchell, KB? And that is the crux of the matter. So when they talk about things, that is the empirical evidence. The present administration only won the election by less than 3,000 votes. So where is the empirical evidence that NNP find it's time for Dr. Keith Mitchell to go? You understand what I'm saying, KB? And that is the crux of the matter. Would 28,000 plus people vote for a man what they feel is time to go? That's what I tell you, KB, we cannot be distracted.
The he point, man, the he point.
No, not he point. Everybody entitled to the opinion gate. But we have to know how to defend and how to unpack those things and them. We can't just say that he point. And I feel a lot of times we as NNP don't just say that without explaining. But we need to explain. Because if it is believed or that is the view of the caller, how come 28,000 people vote for a man what the caller suggests, the same people feel it's time for it to go? And the government of the day won 9 seats, but they win by less than 3,000 in the popular votes. And the narrative of time for Dr. Keith Mitchell to go is a narrative of the National Democratic Congress, which they campaign on successfully so, and promises made. And as they come in government, and up to now, KB, the National Democratic Congress never and could never tell you the mismanagement of this country by Dr. Keith Mitchell, KB. And if it was about the performance of government, Dr. Keith Mitchell would have been still Prime Minister, KB.
I do.
So talking about time. So
I don't agree. People vote out Dr. Mitchell for performance.
No.
People don't vote NNP for performance. In my opinion, people vote out NNP because they feel we steal. A lot had to be feel we did too long. A lot feel Dr. Mitchell did too long. But they have nothing to do with performance. If performance, NNP as a government perform with distinction. But you have to admit, NNP underperform as a party. You can't tell me we do all these things in government. We perform so well in government, and yet we lose the election. It's because we underperform as a party. You understand? And the whole executive, including Dr. Mitchell, have to take responsibility for the party underperforming. You understand? And we don't know if they're going to come back with the same idea. Isn't that something? It's because of the executive and Dr. Mitchell and all of them ideas, because of the policy in the party that caused us to lose. Their ideas that caused us to lose because the government performed with distinction. We had no right to lose the election. Look at the simple mistake we make. We have so much female MPs. We don't fail to have a solid women organization. We employ so many young people, Imani, all over the place. We fail to organize a solid youth organization. We make a lot of mistakes. That had nothing to do with the performance of the government, but the failure of the party.
But ultimately, KB, who decides when the leader should be changed?
The party must decide
yes,
that.
so
The party have to decide.
So them say and he say and
look
she
what
say.
happened. What Mr. Carl, in every organization, the party will decide the way forward. If the party decide, hey, look, when they look around, Dr. Mitchell say he going, and they say, hey, I don't feel Dr. Mitchell should go. The party have a right to call him and say, Doc, you see me? I don't feel it's time for you to go. You understand? But if they feel, the party feel, it's time for Dr. Mitchell to go, they go in convention and they vote somebody else. Simple as that. But the party want to decide that, not the outsiders, not the NDC. The decision will come from the party as to the way forward. Is what the party decide. And is what Dr. Mitchell decide. If Dr. Mitchell decide, hey, I changed my mind. He come to the party and say, look, I changed my mind and I feel that I want to continue as leadership. That is his right. But if the party decide, hey, we want a new leader, convention time they go and they select a new leader, that is how the democratic process works. But we have to work with what in front of us. We have no evidence that Dr. Mitchell changed his mind. No evidence. If Dr. Mitchell changed his mind, he will come and tell us that. Next caller.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
That person already yet.
The number to call 442-0175.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
How you doing, mommy?
Afternoon.
Ah,
Oh my God. You have about 15 of us in Westerhall. We
Yes.
can get your station.
why are you causing that?
In a lot of night. And I deal with my loving brother Benoit in Trinidad.
Okay.
So I can't get it. I get in all other stations.
I'll go look
But
into
that
it first.
station,
Okay.
I'll go look into it.
oh my God. Oh God. If I could take it out from on the mountain, but I don't know where to tell you.
The weather
pattern.
Oh God, Lord have mercy.
All right.
All right, mommy, take care. Have a good day.
Yeah, man, get it. See if I could get it before you fix.
Yeah.
What a pity.
Before you finish.
What a pity.
Okay, sweetie?
Okay.
Love, baby. Bye-bye. Right.
All right, let's take a break, Igwe, and we'll be back after this.
This is Caribbean Vibe.
is wrong with Trinidad. You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an next car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize, they say, the new driver cannot drive.
Yes, Sigwe, and we're back. I think we have a call on the line. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, good evening, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Listening to you guys again it's a pleasure. KB, I love the way you guys explain this thing with Dr. Mitchell going and what people say. Brother Carl, I really think you're correct to say that narrative was pushed by the NDC. They push it, they say too old, they say it's time for him to go, and they were the one pushing that among young people and throughout the population. I didn't think the NNP people, the diehard NNP people, went for it. No, we didn't fall for it. Voted Dr. Mitchell still. But there are some people who were like, who vote for the party, and they did change their mind at that time. They fall for that type of language that NDC use. But I think, through it all, the party is the one that determines the leadership. The delegates of the party that determines the leadership of the party. I don't think age was really the problem. They try to put age, and there are certain preachers. You have a preacher guy, he came out with a petty narrative too, and he pushed it and think he was smart, but he was undermining with it. I mean, I ain't calling the name, the preacher by name, but people know the preacher. He was calling and saying, man need to get a replacement. Like if NNP was at that particular time was so thirsty for, or the party was so in hunger for a replacement. And he pushed that, helped them people smartly push their narrative. I mean, we must say, we ain't all that done, so we could pick up a little thing too. And I'm very happy to see the way that that program is revitalizing the people and bringing us together. I am very, very much happy. And I think we, as a party, the calling for the unity and the mobilizing and the getting down and doing the groundwork in the villages and throughout the constituency, that is all we need to do now. Get ready. Because what I am seeing, is the tree, that old tree of the revolution shaking. Every day, the same music I used to hear in the revolution, I'm hearing it. The same complaints, I'm hearing it. You're hearing people saying this one cussing that one, this one telling this one, this one. When the NNP was in office, you didn't hear that pushing in it. 15 people. We know Toby was giving his little thing. But you didn't hear that day to day, like quarrel and threats. And you hearing it among the people. Threats. Quarrel. That song was a song I used to hear in the revolution. And we have to be prepared for when that song started, making music and start to do what he had to do so that we could be prepared, we are prepared to take the reins of power again. NNP did not lose office because NNP were corrupt. NNP didn't lose because NNP was mismanaging the country. NNP lost because a certain narrative was pushed at NNP, and NNP lost also because their party structure the party structure itself had collapsed. Even during the election, I felt that we didn't have only a government we had. We didn't have the party structure. I was not feeling it. That, as before, how the party was moving and doing things. You know, only the government. And I think that is a lesson that we should learn, a lesson that we should put in with pipe, smoke it, and remember that it's not only for the government to stay in office, the party itself has to be vibrant, and the party itself has to be strong, and strong with strong organization, and strong on the ground with the people. You know, I don't want to stay too long, but I want to say that that program is a blessing to the Grenadian people. It brings out a lot of things to the Grenadian people, a lot of explanation that people didn't understand. But they're getting these explanations now, coming from that little program that you all guys have there. And we want to say, continue the good work and stay blessed.
All right, thanks.
Salient points made by the caller, Kiwi.
Yeah.
The caller was on point.
We have a next one. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Yes, it's been a while. And it's a pleasure, as the last caller said, to listen to you guys explaining.
The
And
pleasure is all ours.
yes, you know, and keep on doing a good job. Now, first of all, that caller that called and talk about we have a leadership crisis in NNP. I don't know about that. I know we have one leader in NNP. Dr. Mitchell is the leader of the new National Party, right? And there is no mistake or no issue with that. So we don't have no leadership issue when it comes to our party, right? And so the convention will decide when it comes who, if Dr. Mitchell or whoever puts up themselves and gets right, they okay by the delegates, and so to become their leader. As it is right now, we have one leader, Dr. Mitchell. I know of no other person, right, that is the leader of NNP. Secondly, if you will notice, a lot of the things over the last month that the government was pushing, the whole question about the faith base and the CJ and the passport issue. You notice this program and the Wednesday and Friday program was able to clarify those issues for the Grenadian people, and you're hearing nothing whatsoever coming from the government because they do not have an answer. They continue to lie to the Grenadian people, right? They keep on doing that, and this program has expose a lot of the facts, not just talk, but facts as to what is going on. And lastly, I wonder if a person's understanding that thing. As soon as this government get into office, 4 weeks, 6 weeks after, they take a $24,000 raise on each of their salaries. Imagine that, $2,000 a month. 12 months, $24,000 they took on their salary. Imagine that, and you have persons out there who is losing their jobs every day, right? And you have persons who are being taken off of the different programs to assist them. And yet for all, you have government decides to take $24,000 raise a pay a year for their ministers. Have a good evening.
Bless.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Bless.
Good. The caller make a serious point, the KV. The present administration, $2,000 traveling increase. You a caller?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take the calls.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
You don't too close to the radio.
I take up my radio already.
Right.
All right, take it.
Yeah, KB, Lieutenant,
How you go, Chief?
Igwe, Master Carl.
Yeah.
We did.
1 year before the execution of Maury Bishop, the PRA provide loans for soldiers. If you are private, 800. Lance Corporal and go up is 2,000. Most loan was 3,000, 2,000, 3,000. And execute B should be next year. Right? And if you come with that propaganda, I will make you permanent. Right? I won't fire you. I will make you permanent so you get money. You could get a team to go to the bank so you could get money. A lot of people fall for that. Even you have NMP who fall for that. You have people who used to put NMP fall for that. Make me permanent. I will go in bank and get money. I say to say because I say to say when a man plan to kill Bishop, right? They give soldiers loan. I get $800, you know. I get 800. I'm in the prison watching KB. I get 800. The next day they kill him. So yeah, probably the party must didn't fight that propaganda that the ANC coming enough. Because I massacre say something Friday gone concerning the leader. And in the campaign, that should be a hot thing in the campaign. For me, NMP lose the election because of the propaganda from NDC. We will make all the permanent, we will fire, we will make all the permanent. And people fall for that. Bless up.
Good bud.
4420175.
Numbers to call. Call. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Gentlemen, how you all doing?
How are you doing?
Good program. I just want to just support you, KB, with what your advice going forward for the new national party in terms of organization and so on. And I just want to just go back a bit. You can remember in 1990 when the NNP lost the election. Yes, they took up the mantle, go there, organize, and come back in 1995 and won the election. So NNP is a party that always go back to the drawing board whenever, the equation they lost. And lost, go back to the drawing board and pick up again, 95. And in 2008, the similar thing. In 2008, the party got back with its leadership and we walked and we go back to the drawing board and we came back in 2013 and so. So it's the same thing. We have to go back again and don't blame felt no blame at nobody, and according to Massacre, the propelling NDC narrative and propaganda, because we know very well, KB, the propaganda that ran on in 1990. I don't want to rehash that, We know the nasty propaganda that went out in 2008, The nasty propaganda. And then again now, we see the propaganda what they showed here. So we continue organizing and bringing the facts to the people, educating the people, because the new national party, after Sir Eric Matthew Gary, GLP, is the only party that care for the poor and the less fortunate people in this country. And you go right round Grenada and go to every door and you hear it, and we see what's taking place now. What's taking place in the amount of women that are sent home, being fired. We see all these things with the bushing program. We see with the caregivers, with even the safety nets. We're talking about peace and stability in our country. NNP had to get credit for the safety nets and the programs that more or less employ the ordinary people, where they find jobs and so on. Look at me in November. Look the state. Take a run Grenada. Listen to some of the business sector in the little shops, in the market vendors. Look at the little bars. Look at the way some women with their children getting when NMP in office, or even Sir Eric Matugeri in office, every Christmas time coming up, that the ordinary person will get something to go by, especially the single mothers and so forth. And it's painful out there. It's very, very painful. But I just want to tell you, NMPites, be strong. Let's continue doing what. Don't afraid, or don't be afraid. Just stand up because we know what is lies. We know what is lies. And don't fall for it because we'll see the fruits of those lies, as you said, Master Carl. So I just leave you all and have a good evening. I
Thank
may
you.
come back again.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. The number to call 442-0175.
The new driver cannot drive.
Call and ventilate.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
all you gentlemen.
Good, how you doing?
Right. First of all, I want to
You sound a bit low. Just raise a bit.
okay. I take no blame for the NMP losing the election. I did everything that I could have possibly do to make sure that NMP got back in power. Unfortunately, we lost. Well, I, Clifford, not responsible for the loss. I hold no blame on that. Because I knew, I had all confidence that we would have won the election. I don't know what happened, but something go wrong. Right? Secondly, all this thing about Dr. Mitchell, time to go and whatnot. Time for gentleman in St. Vincent, Gonzal is holding and he say he going back again. In Dominica, Roosevelt might run himself. He have no chance, you could say, because the opposition decided not going. They're boycotting the election. And many other countries, and Roosevelt say that is his last. When he wins, he's going to stay for some time and then go. Right? Dr. Mitchell, as far as I'm concerned, there was no need for Dr. Mitchell to have to want to go at the time that he said he wanted to go. But if Dr. Mitchell reaches to a stage now that he thinks that he have had enough of it, that's his right. That's his right. But I'm concerned about the organization of the party. There are some people, when NMP in power and they're in a job, or they're in some high position, they don't look at certain people. And they play a lot of games. And a lot of these people that was playing games are responsible for the position that NMP are in now. Some people think of themselves alone. They want to be in everything, and they don't care about the other person. A lot of people that was in charge of jobs, different places, did not do a good job. They did not. And I personally told Dr. Michel that. I won't go into the details, but I personally told him that in a meeting. There are people that they play up, but they play up with only for their personal self. And that is one of the things that we have to look at when you have a convention and you reorganize again. Because perhaps not really need for a convention at this time right now. I agree with Mr. Bulla to an extent. But we had to group, and people have to hold responsibility. If you put yourself in a responsible position, you must hold that responsibility. And some people put themselves in responsible position and they don't hold on to it. Them live up to it. But I'm satisfied that all is not going well presently. But I'm saying that NMP have a lot of work to do. It's not going to just apply over that, okay, when NMP lose, let us come back. He ain't coming back just to have a lot of work to do. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for calling. Number to call 442-0175.
Hello.
Hello, afternoon.
Hi, how you all doing?
Not bad, hello.
Very good day.
Good day.
Well, the new administration had 4 months Kevin, could you tell me one thing good you see that they have done so far since they've been in government? Could you pinpoint just one thing?
Well, at least the attempt to pay the pension is a good thing.
Nice.
You know, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing.
It's very good, eh?
What do you mean? It's a good thing?
Because it will help stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
The people who get their little money may invest back into our economy.
Yeah, another good thing is that they continue with all the program the NNP started. That's a very good thing.
I like how you're reasoning, brother. And there is also bad they have done.
Well, yeah, they make mistakes.
Right. So I'm glad you're seeing that there is good, but to me, some people out there are just biased. They cannot see the good that the new administration have done. And if the opposition say that the NDC have done some good, and then you criticize the bad, people will see through that. You don't think so?
Yeah.
So we cannot go out there just saying that they're not good, they're not doing anything, and just lambasting for lambasting's sake. Because at the end of the day, everybody looking for political mileage, and expediency. That's what they're looking for, isn't it? That's politics. So I think that the NNP losing the election need to criticize. I'm not saying they should not, but they should do it in a responsible way. And another advice I have for the opposition and the NNP, it seems like they have to do some house cleaning. I might be wrong, eh?
Go ahead, make your point.
I might be wrong. But it seems like they have to do some house cleaning to bring the party back. They also need to choose a new leader in the convention coming up, which is good. So they need to focus more on the housekeeping or cleaning process. That's what I want to say here today.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you a supporter of the NLP or NDC?
I'm neutral at the moment.
Okay.
You sound like you is a NDC.
Want to give us advice. Hello. Good afternoon. The number to call 0175.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
Yes, I just popped back in. You know, something that is not being clear, you know, to people. All this administration is doing presently is the continuation of the last government. Every single thing. They have not put nothing in action, in my view.
You don't want to congratulate them for that?
I can understand. I can't congratulate them for
what
that.
What do you mean? Our project, you have to congratulate them for that?
KB, listen to me. Right? These are things that has to be. Case in point, the whole question of the pension. Remember what Dr. Mitchell said? He is putting a committee, after the court ruling, he's putting a committee in place, right? And within 3 months, they will report back to government, right? And by the end of the year, right, something will be some action will be taken when it comes to pension for all workers. No. What is happening right now? When this government came in, they already met a secretariat in place. They already met information there that was gathered about persons already, so they just continued it. You understand? So, I mean, I can't...
I want to...
Government is a continuum. I can't congratulate somebody for example, I started a job. I reached 3/4 way and something happened to me, and you have to come and finish it.
Before you go, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Let's suppose they had abandoned all those projects the NNP started. What you were going to say? I'm glad they continue it.
Yes,
that's why I want to congratulate them, because
no,
the same project they criticized before.
But
they see it, and when they get in power, they finally see the wisdom in continuing those projects.
But KB, remember, if they didn't do that, the whole government, the whole country collapsed, you know. You see, things were such in place. For example, look at the airline, look at the tourism. Look at how these things just freaking off now. You believe in
The
4 months they could have done
project.
that? They could not have done that in 4 months. That's my point. So it's not a whole question of congratulating them, right? They have a job to do, and they have to do it, and do it with the best of their ability, because the Grenadian people is watching them. They cannot abandon these things, and then because it is there for the development of the country, and they know that. They're trying to make all kind of spin around about what things, but they have not yet done anything, in my view. Have a good evening.
All right, take care. Number to call.
I have a different view to KB.
Yeah. And to hear your view.
Retroactive payment has nothing to do with the Congress. The law dictates that they pay. From since the ruling came back law of March, irrespective of who is in power, had to pay. So if Winston Frederick become Prime Minister, he had to pay.
It must be.
If the man running go out for GULP, if he became Prime Minister, he had to pay. Because the law dictates that you pay. You don't have no sideways in it. The part about continuing the programs that they met, yes. Because they're wise enough or they have conventional wisdom that the projects make sense to continue. But I don't say in our they pay retroactive because the court decided that is an obligation to any government. The Prime Minister didn't take the money from himself to pay. The money come from the consolidated fund. And because the cash flow argument was not adhered to, all could not be paid. Facts. Out of the 75 to be paid, to about 500 people. But the caller stayed away from the set of people they make go. You see all kind of thing to KB. Yeah. So that's why I live here and KB. Yeah. But you don't talk now the 500, mostly women they make go. Mm-hmm. That is the crux of the matter. If you're speaking of the performance of this government, speak of all. Don't say they pay pension and they continue things. Say they make a lot of people go. They have a lot there to make go. And I have a clip, Gates, which I think we should go into. Uh-huh. Play the clip for me. Because they're staying away from all that people they may go KB. You notice in all the discussion, they never just talk about that people and them. Like that people don't have no meaning to the country.
But we have to always remind them.
Yeah, like the people, I said that people, what are getting nothing now, like they don't have a meaning to the country. It's all about the pay retroactive, no meaning to the country.
Look it.
So in relation to some of the cases, I would just say that I've received several queries in relation to what has been termed the traffic warden case, which is properly claim number 399 of 2020, Claudia Joseph versus the Attorney General. Now, the trial judge delivered a decision in that case last Thursday. The claimant in that case was issued a fixed penalty notice, that is a traffic ticket, for using her cellular phone whilst driving by a traffic warden. Now, of course, being dissatisfied with the fixed penalty notice or traffic ticket issued to her, the claimant challenged the lawfulness of the appointment of traffic wardens and the ticket issued to her. The thrust of the claim was that the ticket issued by the traffic warden was unlawful, given that the post of traffic warden is not a public office as provided by Section 111 of the Constitution, nor is a traffic warden lawfully employed, or at least was lawfully employed by the then Grenada Transport Board. Now, of course, we no longer have a transport board. We now have the Grenada Transport Commission with the changes to the legislation that took place in December 2020. Now, the court considered 4 issues raised by the claimant, which were whether traffic wardens are performing duties of police officers under Section 23(1) of the Police Act, which section deals with the police being responsible for regulating traffic. Essentially, the question was whether traffic wardens are police officers, whether the position of traffic warden is a public office within the meaning of Section 111 of the Constitution, whether traffic wardens have to be appointed by the Public Service Commission or the Commissioner of Police, and whether it was lawful or whether it was unlawful for traffic wardens to issue fixed penalty notices, that is, traffic tickets. The court held that the statutory regime for the appointment of traffic wardens and police officers are not comparable and are vastly different. Essentially, traffic wardens are not police officers. Now, that finding to us was not surprising because, as on a review of the Road Traffic Act, in comparison to the Police Act, it is evident that the duties of traffic wardens are not equivalent to that of police officers. Even the training to be a traffic warden is not the same as to be a police officer. The duties in common between traffic wardens and police officers are in relation to regulating traffic, but there is no basis on which to state that only police officers can regulate traffic. It was a logical argument of the claimant, but flawed, I would say, was advanced. It was a flawed argument. Now, the court did not agree that traffic wardens hold public office. The court viewed the words public service and public officer under the Constitution to refer to officers appointed by the Public Service Commission. It stated that if Parliament intended traffic wardens to be public officers, it would have followed the requisite statutory regime to make the post an established post of the public service, whose office is appointed by the Public Service Commission and governed by its rules and regulations. So the appointment of a traffic warden is governed by the contractual principles of contract law, and the terms of the contract of employment replaces any implied term of a traffic warden being a public officer. So the courts haven't found that traffic wardens are not police officers and that traffic wardens do not hold public office. There was no need to examine whether the Public Service Commission or the Commissioner of Police, which would be Section 84 or Section 89 of the Constitution, was briefed. There was no need for the court to consider those issues. The court held that the Road Traffic Act, as amended, permitted traffic wardens to issue fixed penalty notices. Those are, of course, traffic tickets. Therefore, the fixed penalty notice issued by the traffic warden to the claimant was lawful. Of course, that is very important to note that the tickets your traffic wardens are issuing, they are fully valid tickets, lawful tickets to be issued. So you would want to do what you need to do when you receive your traffic ticket. Of course, just prior to this briefing, we were served with a notice of appeal, which indicates that the decision of the trial judge is being challenged by the claimant. Of course, it is our position that the trial judge was correct in all of the findings made, so we will be objecting to the appeal. Now, the decision of the trial judge stands as the present state of the law, and with there being no stay on the decision, that is the applicable law in Grenada, unless it is overturned by the appellate court.
That's the end right there.
So, I play this clip from the past AG to bring to fore the situation with the traffic wardens. And note, because anytime I come here with facts kits. And note case 399 of 2020 is Claudette Joseph versus the Attorney General in respect to the wardens. Now, Senator Claudette Joseph is now the Attorney General. Because when she was not the Attorney General, she brought a case against the state, which she lost in the first round, and appealed the case. And the AG, the legal advisor and representative of the government, the case was Claudette Joseph versus the AG. And people to understand that. Now the same Senator Claudette Joseph is now the AGKB. So I'm trying to get a feel or try to make people understand what here is at play, because I started off by saying, by their fruits you shall know them. So what the AG, because on appeal, is still Claudette Joseph versus the AG, KB. And Senator Claudette Joseph is now the AG. And in that clip, the present AG, Senator Claudette Joseph, is saying the traffic wardens are illegal. One must understand that, Igwe. So if, when she was not the AG, she brought a matter against the AG, saying that it, among other things, that the traffic wardens are illegal. What could the traffic wardens expect, Kiwi? I want you to speak on that, Kiwi.
I don't sure if they will treat the traffic warden as how they plan to treat the money. I'm not sure about that.
But information is there to suggest, KB, as soon as the traffic light are them fixed,
They're going home.
but KB, you see, KB, even you don't get in that point, you know.
I don't get it.
The case is 399 of 2020. Is Claudette Joseph versus the Attorney General. And Claudette Joseph was saying that the traffic wardens was illegal. No, Senator Claudette Joseph is the Attorney General.
I don't know if she have that power.
What power?
To get rid of the traffic warden massacre, or the party or the government taking.
KB, you don't understand, KB.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
And Miss Joseph, I'll bring a case
against them,
against the AG and the government. Now she's the AG. How would this case be handled by the AG, and the AG have to defend the appeal against the same AG?
It's a losing battle.
That's not no laughing matter, KB.
Yeah, it's a losing battle.
This case is still pending.
How you mean?
I thought this case over with.
You not thought, KB. So the AG, who holds the office of the AG, has a case against the office of the AG.
Conflict of interest.
She's the AG now.
Not no laughing matter, KB. And the caller and them don't talking about that. They only talking about retroactive pay. That the crux of the matter. And that the issues that need to be discussed.
I thought this thing was overdone.
Not thought, KB.
Right, stick up in. Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon. I don't have me pen in for my cell phone money.
Oh gosh. Sorry about that. What happened?
Let me make you to understand. I hear they say they have to clean up the house. Do some cleaning on the house. These little things that they were going on in this country now. What house you have to clean up again? You go out there and you say election is tomorrow morning. NMP back on foot. You don't clean nothing.
Shit.
You know what you are going on? I'm taking little things simple. The Prime Minister would come before, when he come out in 2014 or 2018, he come out. And he said he want to leave a legacy. And he want to give everybody what is due to them as a pension. What kind of thing is it? Money there, you say praise. If the people are then they go and borrow the money and they pay the money, I could understand your praising that. Money already there. Kit Mitchell never say you don't pay no money, you know. I don't know what are you saying praise them for. Because if Kit Mitchell is going for you don't pay them. I don't know what we talking about. Praise them. What you praising them for? The workers going on, they didn't go on bargaining to get money to do what's going on there now. What you praising them for? Tell me. What you praising them for? House not to clean. How bad in the house not to clean and put a new leader and all this stupidness. Well done life. Election tomorrow morning, keep Mitchell going back in power. Sunday, everybody barring. Like Bill, cut off leaving. People don't have work to do. And I still telling the house not to clean. Clean all you want before you clean NMP on. NMP on already clean. All you have to do, just put back the whole thing order. So I tell all you that. Me say that. And you can't tell me what I do. And this thing that I'm going on in this country here and telling me you want to clean the house. Which house? Who house? Tell them clean theirs because theirs been clean. Because the whole life, people is fall for. That is why NMP do the power.
If NNP don't learn now, they don't learn in no time. Because they go come with our whole life and then see. Everyone, come December, Warden, whosoever, money, whosoever. You didn't see what it there on the program? They're telling them to come for fund, to have their own business. What is the business the people and them could go on and do now? What is the business that people don't learn in? They don't learn in yesterday, they don't learn in today, they don't learn in tomorrow. We have to learn. Common sense come before book. You don't have to go to college to have common sense. I'm telling me, clean up the book, clean up the house, and the house already clean, already ready for people to walk inside it. Don't sit down like yourself and tell me what are you telling me. Who is this?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, KB.
Thank you, caller.
Hit the like, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button.
What you don't understand in KB? Claudette Joseph have a matter against the office which he hold. You just taking that thing like joke. The Miss Claudette Joseph have a matter against the office Miss Claudette Joseph holding. That is not a simple thing, KB. Miss Claudette Joseph being the Minister of Labour when the issue happening in Carriacou, she says she don't see no problem with making the people go when she know the people and could seek redress by bringing the matter in front of her. That is the issues which we have to think of and not just jumping up about a retroactive payment. How these people go get justice? What would be the justice in the matter? Miss Claudette Joseph against the AG which the office she hold. These are the things that are happening in Green Island. What action she has to defend for the AG, but what against the AG? So starting the matter in the KB and thing, don't cut in it.
What happened? I knew she had lost.
How that matter will be dealt with? Now you know that the matter still on.
Kind of puzzle me now because I know she had lost.
And that is same person.
I know she had appealed the case.
And that is same person was on NDC had been saying she don't see no problem. She did a thorough investigation on the people they may go in Carriacou, knowing fully well that she's the Minister of Labour and the matter could come before her. And she already judged the matter on radio. And that is the crux of the matter. And that is why KB say by the fruits you shall know them. I don't just come in here and tap. So how the AG must tell us how she go plan to deal with the matter, Miss Claudette Joseph versus the AG.
Somebody had to withdraw themselves. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Lieutenant.
Hi.
The AG making all them Warden go. Get it back straight. She's the AG now. Because she don't say already is illegal. So she's the AG and she's making all them go. Bless up.
Yes, sir.
And note the past AG say, KB, you have to listen. The past AG say Claudette Joseph's argument was logical but flawed. So that the same argument they go use to knife the warden, KB. I'm speaking on behalf of the warden here.
What's that called?
And by the fruits you shall know them. Because the same person what say the warden illegal now has the power to make the warden go.
I don't sure about that, Carl. I don't sure. I understand the logic, but I don't sure they will make those warden go. Have no evidence.
KB, that's your view.
That's my view.
You don't have evidence when the AG, the whole of the office of the AG say the warden is illegal.
She said
you still don't have evidence.
That's when she was in.
But she never recused.
You see what I'm saying? That when she was in
KB,
government is a different case.
KB, she had enough chance now to tell us whether she still had the same view. KB, the Attorney General is the legal advisor to the government. And there matter with the government will have to take legal advice from the AG. The same person that had the case with the AG.
You have your strong views on that.
That's not my view.
I don't show them.
KB, that's not my view. That what is the
I don't
fact.
sure they're going to file the traffic.
KB, that's not my view. That is fact.
Hello, go ahead. Is he called?
Hello.
Hey, afternoon again.
Afternoon.
Hey, I come back to say this. I was so shocked this week, when I heard that the Minister of Health met with the nurses, with a group of nurses behind the union back, and offered them a $500.
And tell them only 2 positions of RN he have.
It was shocking because I remember during the Keith Mitchell administration, they had accused Keith once of a meeting with workers and saying that he went behind the
Yes.
they are the bargaining agent of the workers and how it is not.
I want the cheating and them the missing.
And this is what they didn't say. Even the NDC came on their Sunday program and blasted and said how the government has no respect for the union and its dictatorship and all kind of. Today I am seeing that the very same thing. In fact, this has been done because he went, he meet them. I even offer them a gift without the presence of the union, their bargaining agent. These people, the hypocrisy is so mounting. It is so open there that these people, sometimes I wonder, what kind of people that could really come and take over this country? The things they condemn, the things they accuse and they wanted to put people on trial for is the things today they come in and do. I'm sorry for the union because to me, like the union getting some kind of, them slap them people just give one another and TikTok them African just rap one another.
Because one of the union leaders in his comment about the retroactive, he say we. He didn't say the government, he say we.
It's so shameful to see what happening. And the union grinding, they're groaning, they're grinding. Because the present leadership of the union right now is afraid that they use the people to remove them.
Yeah, to unseat them.
To unseat.
So they rather keep their position and toe the line.
So they're towing the line and they're grinding. Let me tell you this. This is the worst I've ever seen. People do, you disrespect the union in that manner, and the union yet have to put their tail between their bam and crawl. It's time for the union.
Men without spine.
Yeah, it's time for the union to speak up because that's what happened there. Using the comparison there, I see this is the sin that commit. Because if you declare something to be a sin and you come and do it, then it is justifiable for anybody to call it a sin. Or anyone to say it is sinful because you before said that this thing or doing this thing is wrong. And now you come and do the very said thing. And KB, the lady has not declared herself or said, I will not contest that case anymore or I will not go up against it anymore. It is still dependent. So, Brother Carl's judgment is right. Thank you again.
All right, brother.
So, you have information to suggest, Gates, that the Minister of Health met it with the nurses in the General Hospital. And what is vulgar about that, Gates? The same Minister of Health and his team said that contract was illegal. The same minister and his team said they're going to make everybody permanent. But you're going and tell the nurses that only 2 positions you have for RN.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Keaton need to calm down a bit.
I don't find it hyper this afternoon.
You call earlier on, I don't say nothing to you.
Find nothing.
But you're calling back now and interfering with
the passion.
You make your point, I'll let you make your point. When I'm making mine, you're having a problem. Why?
Passion, man. You must have called.
Kibi, I could handle myself. I don't need you to handle. Help me. Kibi, let me handle myself. Let me hear you now.
No, calm down a bit.
I calm down.
Don't get too
I'm
high.
totally calm.
Let me hear you now.
Let me hear you.
Don't get too high.
Let me hear you.
Now, I just called to tell you calm down a bit.
All right.
All right, next caller.
No, I need to tell the caller that. Grenada is my constituency. Real FM is my parliament. And the people elect me one of the spokesmen. And the Ancient of Days blessing me. So even whatsoever snare the caller and others might have, they can't ensnare me.
Okay. Take the next call, please. Hello? 44201.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I just have one or two questions before I say after today. Is that is $70+ million which will be paid out. How many people are actually being up for that?
They say about 500 thereabouts.
Okay, so if it's 500 people, right, and you have all this money is going to be paid out. So when you move around, there's a big heart when it's about it. Is the sky going to be open and the money is going to be rained? You expect these 500 people to go like every corner shop, every place?
That is their view.
Yeah,
That what they hope to happen.
Yeah, but that is... Oh my God! I mean, this is what form of psychology is this?
But what is interesting to note, 500% thereabout could benefit from the payment, but there are almost close to 600 people that lose work since the administration come. They don't have nothing to get.
I'm not even going there, boss. My thing is that the picture like in today's world is like there's a lot of people are trying to print a HD performance. That 500 people was 70 or like over $70+ million. I mean, it's and we have 100,000 people in Grenada. This is not, I don't know what form of economy.
So 95,000 people are getting nothing.
Just imagine. No, okay, all right, they're not getting, but how you expect this 500 people to take that money to
and just share it? Well, we feel Santa Claus.
99,500 people.
Santa Claus.
I just can't get this form of understanding.
No, let me tell you.
From an economical point of view, I'm not an economist. I wish Bazan was alive, or even Dr. Mitchell. These are the two brain box of economy in Grenada. That these people they could explain that within seconds, yeah.
No, but what caller? One point to note: during the election campaign, they said a lot of things which was manifestly certified false, and people believed. So they believed that one, so they could tell you anything.
But this has to be a magic, my friend.
David Copperfield could be.
Anyhow, guys, have a good day.
All right.
Take care.
The new driver.
The number to call 442-0175.
That's it.
Call and ventilate. Let me hear your views. Hey, what's Sister Kami? I don't hear for the day. I wonder if she hearing us at all.
They have a problem with 91.5 down there.
Oh.
KB.
The boys on the way to fix it up.
They say Senator Jonathan Nackert tell the North Seas, you have information to suggest that he tell them what that permanent thing will take long. So who have 500 still?
How they tell them?
So,
but
what they
no.
They don't respond to it?
KB, I don't know, but KB, let me check the definition of corruption. You will look for the definition of corruption for me.
Corruption.
Because I want to cut to the atom of the thing. Because you see, people have to understand. And they calling back now because he talked to KB and KB was nice with him. When I start to spit some evidence and facts now, you have to call back and tell me calm down. Because they only feel they're living in a cocoon. And they feel everybody else don't know. So KB was nice with him.
Corruption, a form of dishonesty or criminal offense.
Only that you have?
You want the long one, which undertaken by the person or the organization which is ensured in a position of authority.
So the health minister is in a position of authority. Read it again. Don't read like you're afraid.
Corruption, a form of dishonesty or criminal offense, which is undertaken by a person or an organization which is ensured by a person ensured in a position of authority.
So if he is in a position of authority and he have information to suggest that you're finding nurses than 500, I don't know. Check it out. They're not my words. I didn't make that definition.
You give him a 5 and tell
he is in a form of authority.
All nurses get an extra 500.
I don't know. Ask Mr.
Only those newly recruited.
The man had a meeting with nurses, KB.
Hello. Right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, you happening, girl?
KB,
Hi.
I hear you say with Sister Carmi, you don't hear her today.
No, what happening? You hearing us?
I say, boy, I can't get on here on the radio. Good morning, van. Nice. I don't hear me not funny music.
Yeah,
But
them
anyhow,
boys, they gonna fix it. They're on the way fixing it.
I watch it every day, boy, I listen. Don't listen to that man that called that day, that hypocrite, that body and tell you, calm down, brother Carl. I know it, my partner, I know it. Don't bother with him. Don't tell you calm down. He can't take the fact. Yes. Yes. Don't worry with him.
Fashion.
When telling him calm down, boy, I doesn't want to hear the truth, you know. And the two tongue. Because when they call an next station, they're saying something else. Give them some fire. I lie down here, man. I come from church and I just relaxing and I listen to you.
All right, take care.
Have a good evening, Grenada, everybody. Good evening, Miss Camille.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Mitchell, good afternoon. Dr. Clarius Michelle, good afternoon. Everybody.
So Gates,
Another rain, man. Another rain.
Carmi, okay. So Carmi, the minister is in a position of authority.
Corruption.
And he going and offer information to suggest. So the definition is not my definition, and KB can tell me he don't agree with me because his definition is not mine. The definition comes from the dictionary. But I could just piece in. He's in a position of authority. And if he makes a certain offer, is it lawful to offer them men and behind the union back?
Only the new Rikito
I don't know.
He giving that 500.
KB, I don't even trying to do all that. What information suggests he speak to them. Information suggests he offer. And he is in a position of authority. So even though KB want to say, that's my opinion, that's not my opinion. That's what is the facts of the matter. I don't give in my opinion on that. I only stating the obvious, KB. So if he's in a position of authority and information to suggest that he do that, KB, check the definition of corruption, not me. I ain't saying it's corruption. You see what I can tell you? When people hear and listen, go and check it yourself. Don't just take what I said, just so go and check it. And check the definition of corruption. And then and only then, you could answer the question, KB. So not me, not my doing, KB, and I don't give in my opinion here, KB.
Yeah.
These are the happenings.
That's what's going on.
I don't give in my opinion.
Okay.
Because if I give my opinion, you don't want to hear it. But I don't give in it.
I won't make you see it.
Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, we lost it. Call back. 4420175.
As my partner, the ego say the thing getting grimy. And KB, you put the thing in its proper perspective. They men start to panic. Die action of people that panicking, KB.
Yeah, the panic will be more.
Because KB, you know in the revolution that it is information to suggest just before the stupidness happen, they up them and them pay. You know?
Yeah.
They give them more money. Same, I tell you, once you follow the money Igwe, everything clear.
The money easy.
Take
Let's
next
go to the
call.
phone call.
Hello.
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 Hello, how you doing?
KB switch, man. KB switch.
Jeez.
You're close to the radio. You're in a feedback. Hello?
That's all the man wanted to see. The man wanted to see you switch.
Oh.
Yeah, that he called to see. 4420175, Grenada.
Marilyn Ferguson, if the man is in a position of authority and information is there to suggest that some offerings was made because permanent might take long or may never happen, check the definition in the dictionary as relates to corruption. I ain't saying it's corruption, note me. I'll send out a proviso here. People don't go and say Master Carl says corruption. I say if the man is in a position of authority and is offering gifts because that the same permanent might be long, check the definition of corruption and see how that ties in. And then you and only you could make that thing.
Next caller, please.
Let's take a break and we go come back and we go take some more calls.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an ex-con and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With much new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year
for passengers to realize
we know
the new
that new driver.
Igwe.
And there is information to suggest, Igwe, that all will get it. All the nurses will get it, because remember, RN, registered nurse, is not a skill in the public service. So they are lower than others. Check the meaning of corruption, and check who is in authority, and check the suggestion made. And there's information to suggest that the nurses are them very, very impatient. Because they were led to believe that making them permanent was a matter. So when KB and them saying they give them kudos, I don't give in them, because they trick the nurses on them. So KB could give them kudos about what they want to do, but I'm not giving them until all you fix the thing with the nurse. And fix the police. All you tell them in 1995 pay and grade. When all you fix that, I'll be the first with my hands in the air and give them congratulations. But until then, Igwe, I'm not giving them no credence. The nurses and them support all you. All you have them impatient now. So all you come and offer 500. So I offer the teacher, I pay the teachers illegally 1.7. So I feel everybody, money is the solution. So I'll go throw money at everybody to fix it. Check the ingredients, Igwe. The man is a man in authority, Igwe. The funds suggested, Igwe. And go back and check the rationale of corruption. Not me, check the meaning. And then, and only then, people will come to the conclusion, not mine, but theirs. Don't let mine become yours by adoption. Find it for yourself.
Yes, sir.
Let me take the call.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, I come back here. Why they won't give the police the money?
Ask the Minister of National Security.
The police there to protect and solve. The police there to solve the people.
Well, the police get catch too.
Yes, the police must get the money.
They get catch too.
The police, I don't understand these people and them. And they have a new commissioner, Mr. Mackenzie, isn't it?
Acting, I think.
Acting, oh, he's a good man, you know, and now we work with him.
He's a very good friend of mine. He's a man alive.
Very good. Somebody tell me that, a policeman tell me that yesterday. Very nice man. He used to be in the prison too.
Yeah, and he used to be on the port for a while too.
And the port, yes, very nice man. And congratulations. Because I don't want Cohen. I don't want that man. Cohen, I don't want that man at all. A person. Yes. So, I could choose Mr. Mackenzie. Very good afternoon, sir. And next thing again, the lady, this chase. I don't see her in the terminal. I don't know where they had human in the port. The issue with the port. You understand? I want that lady to call that person's name, because I know if they're in there in politics, they get jail.
Well, call me like you're reading my notes, because there's some questions I have to ask.
Yes.
Call me reading my notes on me, man.
This person would get jail. Is that in the politics? I don't come on in school children say. I said school children.
Coach, you say anything bouncing like bounceball?
I'm bouncing check.
No bounceball.
Bounceball. Yeah, bounceball.
Chuck all over in the night. I want to tell Pastor.
They go
They
bounce.
have to pray now. No, they have to pray.
Put close choppers in.
So Senator Lackard go to pray more hard.
Pray. Because I've been praying over here. Pray. So she come and speak the truth and call the name and don't take no jail. Don't take no jail for nobody. That's what I want to hear in Grenada.
They should have heed
Yes.
advice from the Director of Public Prosecution and let the matter go on trial so we don't know who benefited from the passes.
I don't understand these people on them.
We want to know.
The policeman tell me from the yesterday they want the money. Because they have to work so hard. They want the money. Pay the police. Because you promise them that. Have a good evening.
All right.
Okay.
Man, the police don't get catch already, Kami.
No, sister.
They pay the teachers. Maybe the police don't come because they pay the teachers. Now they think you need us, maybe police next. Yes, caller.
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm okay, man. Yeah, call KB.
Hi.
And Iwi, what they're trying to do is divert tactics. They're trying to focus on something that is not important and something that is not a business. And they have a lot of things going on between the way they treat the people. Right? They want to focus on that. They want to focus on something that is not a business. I know they are saying there's some people watching their home, but the home is much better than the home, and they won't focus on what's going on inside the house. Right? NMP house is good, is on the own house, a house that seeks the interests of the people of America and Peter Martin. They don't look at one groups of people, they look at Grenada as equal. And I want to say their divert tactics would not work. They try to divert from the real issue and bring us a starting point, which is cannot bring bread and butter on people table. Right? Where you have people that was working and for no reason at all you send them home. And everything that you see they did is just to divert from a real issue and then to bring a talking point. I want to say we have to focus on what is going on in the country. One thing I could say with NMP party, we don't criticize for criticizing sake. When the government, if the government do something good, we see they do something good. But if you check the track record of NDC, nothing that NMP did, it was good to them. They go the road, they build the road, they travel on the same road. Other things they build the school, they condemn it. And even the children going to the same school, they drive on the same road, but they condemn it. And NDC win the election because of the promise that they made to the people. They're going to be permanent, and they're going to give them extra money on what they're getting. And the same thing they did in 2008, and the same thing they came back and they do. So I call upon the greater people. Yes, you can forgive, but always remember the lies people said to you. That's my piece.
All right, best.
Okay.
School children asking if the 500 is a one-off payment or a bribe. They want to know.
So KB, when I talk about that, that's not my opinion, KB. So don't see that my opinion.
Yes, the number to call 442-0175. Call, ventilate, express yourself. Say your views. It's the people's program.
The place getting grimy, I tell you. You don't believe me? Watch it.
So KB, that is why I asked the question fundamental. If the AG, the office of the holder of AG, have a court matter which she appeal against the office of the AG, how will that go down? Because she have enough time to recuse herself from the matter or give it up. But seeing that she refused to take back the appeal means she continuously believe that the wardens are illegal, KB. That is the crux of the matter, you know? Because if you become the AG and you don't believe it's right to proceed with the matter, you could withdraw the matter, you know? But you don't rejoin the matter and then you go have the will to determine the survival of the wardens, KB. That's not my opinion, KB. That's not my opinion. That's facts. And unless somebody bring information to see that the present holder of the AG office withdraw the matter or whatsoever, it is proper to conclude that she still believes the Wardens are illegal. Because she have the time to withdraw the matter. But the fact that she wants the matter to go on simply means she still believes that the Wardens are illegal. And once she in a government, and she has to defend the matter, what about if she gonna bullshit the matter and cause her to win the AG office? What is the situation in the AG? I'm still saying you don't believe, and the person that has the power to damage the Warden still has the power, KB?
The court the case in front of who?
I don't know who they're in front of. But she
appeal had to be in front of the High Court.
But KB, you
in front of the AG? She cannot try her own case.
KB, was she?
Are you telling me she is the person going to try her own
KB,
case?
she is the AG.
She's the AG.
And she has to defend matters that when people sue the AG. So how the AG go be against her?
She had to recuse herself.
What does you, KB?
But she had to recuse herself.
You're speaking, KB, are using your own argument on you. You speaking logic from you. Is that the same logic here?
She had to recuse herself. She cannot try. She cannot.
And they saying how what they do good and thing. Die what they have to do good. Recuse herself and take the matter away. And then we go say they're doing something. All for now, nothing. You ever call?
No.
I want to see how this thing go pan out, because by the fruits you shall know them. You can't expect good fruit from bad tree.
She had to recuse herself. It was too embarrassing.
You're saying that, but I
Case
don't have
399.
That's too embarrassing. She have to.
And the Minister of Health come clean.
She have to.
Come straight.
He bribing by.
She have to recuse herself.
That one is sick.
She have to, Master Carl.
Come straight.
Good afternoon, hello. The number to call 442-0175.
And KB, talking about recuse yourself, KB. Recuse, don't cut in it. She had to drop the appeal, KB.
Yeah.
Recuse, that means she still wants the matter to go on. We don't call for no recuse. Recuse is still allowing the matter to go on. She has to drop the appeal in toto. She has to go out and say, I don't want that matter any further. They talk not recuse and the matter still going on. And she has the age she could influence how the matter is being defended. And she go be both prosecution and defense. Recuse means she still is prosecution and defense, okay? The only how he making a difference if she drop the matter in toto. Anything else would be uncivilized. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Right.
So she could recuse herself.
Call back
and she still have the appeal. And she still is the AG. So she giving information to the appellant. And she still giving information to the defendant.
Hello?
Hello?
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Master Carl.
Yo.
You called me out. I don't hear you call out KB, you know. I don't hear you call out KB. Tell her. KB say it, you know.
Wow.
I question it. You don't call out KB.
What I said?
KB have a mind of your own.
What is it I said?
I asking if that is it. KB said that is it. Boy, you don't call out KB at all, Master Carl. Master Carl, you don't call out KB at all. KB is correct. I'm asking. KB is correct. KB say it as it is.
Why it is?
Yeah, KB say it as it is.
Why you say?
I'm asking if that is a case of bribery. KB say it is bribery.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just giving information to, and people could go and find it out because the man is in a position of authority. You find XYZ.
Yeah.
And when you read the definition of bribery, you connect the dots and you'll find it. Don't take my thing for, don't let it become yours by adoption, because now we have decent people who understands.
But these people unionize, you know, they're supposed to union, supposed to.
You don't call out KB, that's what I tell you.
No, he's my good friend. I for the luxury of calling out.
I puzzled because I said, What my position, normally these people are union, and if you have to bargain, I expect the government and the union to bargain on behalf of the nurses. I didn't realize you go pull the nurses aside.
I like para how buy so I sell. I don't add in, I don't take, you know.
Very good program. Very good program. Keep the standard. Elevate it. Don't drop the standard at all. You have a lot of listeners. Master Carl, a lot of listeners. Some of them may not air their views, some of them may not call, but I know you have a lot of listeners. Keep the tempo up. You just have to keep the tempo up.
Well, like the people's
Master Carl.
spokesman.
Keep it up. Keep it up. We will be there very soon. Keep it up.
All right.
But what is interesting to note, about that $500 gates. 500 is a figure they like, you know.
Yeah.
A man say he get 500 from two men among them already, you know.
So they like that 500.
That 500 is a figure they like, KB. Because a man say he get two men, give him 5.
Carl, what is the response of the union? They were asking you.
KB, I won't know the response of the union. You have friends in the union, very, very good friends. Yeah. So tomorrow morning you should call them and ask them. KB, why are you trying? You're trying to put me on the spot.
How could
you have very good friends in the union, KB.
Idle by.
Find them tomorrow.
And allow the workers to pull aside and negotiate with the Minister of Health outside of the union.
KB, find your friends in the union tomorrow. Don't whoop. Find yourself in the union, your friends, and ask them.
All right, let's take the call.
Hello?
Yeah, I come back again. What? Master Carl, you ever when I see a lot of people listening and you don't call in? They chewing. Because I have a lot of friends who have listened to the station, right? And go out and campaign what you all saying. Campaign for NNP, but they ain't calling it. But they listen to the program, taking everything, and they go and campaign.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, caller.
Okay. All right, bless.
So, KB, when you ask, and when you're asking him about the thing, ask him about GDA 8CV 2020/0399. Ask them about that case.
A case.
With Jimmy Bristol representing the Miss Clara Joseph against the AG, the official hole. Ask them that. Don't come and tell me what opinion, what should do and recuse. Find out from them, KB, and they won't talk to me because they go afraid, but they might talk to you.
Yeah.
Find out, KB.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Afternoon.
I think that that matter with the AG and the AG, I think that matter was dropped, you know.
When?
I heard that with the clip that you played early on. I think I heard that matter was dropped off.
When?
I'm not sure when, but I heard it on the clip that you played early on.
You heard that the matter was dropped?
Yeah, I find so. I heard that.
Man, the woman appeal the matter, I just give you the case number and everything and the lawyer. You still saying you hear that on the clip?
I find so.
Well, something don't right with you.
I could be making a mistake, but I don't.
Gentlemen, GDA 8CV 2020/0399. Mr. Jimmy Bristol is the lawyer on that matter. I just tell you that. The fees for the appeal was paid. I don't come here to conquer. When I come here and I give you information, I've done the research. I play the clip from the former AG dealing with the matter, and the present AG appealed the matter. So I want to know, she matter was against the AG and now she's the AG. So I say it appears, so listen the clip, go back and listen.
Number to call, 442-0175.
Thanks for having me up in here. I don't come to play with it.
Yeah, up in this.
How long we have again program?
We have exactly 42 minutes.
Okay. Number to call, hello.
I was thinking that the money paid to the civil servant when the government came into office, that first money is said to prevent what they say, corruption.
There were also teachers.
The teachers, yes. I was saying that have to amount to bribery.
Of course, yes.
I don't know. Just get the facts. and look at the definition and satisfy yourself what it
Right.
is.
I said I find that amount to corruption.
I don't say that. That not my words. That yours.
I didn't say you. I said me.
All right.
Okay.
I said me. I
Yeah.
find so.
Okay.
You know, because the issue is that we gave it because we think this is going to give us a good stand with the
Teachers.
workers.
Teachers, yeah.
Yes, so we rewarded them because
The court say no.
we think we're going to get something. And although the court said, the
Court say
judge
no.
said no, and you give it to them because you think we're going to have good relationship. This is corruption.
Yeah, but Carla, let me tell you something. You see, corruption is a strong word, and we have to be guided. We might have our beliefs, but to just say it's on this entity is not fit and proper.
All right, thank you. Sorry, KB, we have 20 minutes left.
Okay, that's okay.
Sorry.
Yes. Colin.
So $202 for appeal.
500 is this.
Are you telling me
Five.
about the drop keys?
Drop a 5.
Number to call 442-0175. Call, ventilate, express yourself. Free to do so. Support, oppose. We'll take anything.
School children want to know if they get their next 5 next
We
month.
taking anything. You could support, you could oppose. Hello?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Well, we don't get no reception of Upper St. John.
I think they're working on it now.
They're working on it. They're working on the 91.5. Don't worry. Yeah, he should be back any minute now, but the program almost starting, but he should be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My boy!
Sorry for
Oi.
that. Sorry for that.
Yeah, sorry for
Good.
that.
All right.
We apologize to the listeners that listening on 91.5. You know, situation is beyond us.
Yeah, that's
and especially with the rainfall, you can play going in mountain and rainfall in you.
God, when people miss that program,
it's problems.
They don't sleep at night, you know. Hello. Hello. Afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
After call.
I go right there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good day.
Right. So I think with there's a mass migration of nurses right now. So it's creating a problem for the system.
Oh, so check the definition more. The definition applies more now.
Yeah.
Based on what you just say.
That's the migration now.
So KB, the appeal was filed on the 29th of the 4th month, 2021. Submitted at 7:58 and filed at 8:30. You're telling me what matter drop? Bomber drop. Run for cover. Save you, mama. We want to know what is the position of the AG as relates to the Wardens. Because a lot of people losing their work. We want to know. So, and not a matter of opinion, KB. We want to know what would be the fate of the Wardens.
Listen from New York.
So the nurses and them, I tell them, I go make them permanent.
What's about it?
Then the first time I go in cabinet, I will say, in parliament, I will say, the thing cannot make the IMF one all. So now I realize some might want to slip through.
Well,
So I don't think.
you want to know what's about the person involved on the port? You
Well,
want to
I'm
know the
asking
name
that
too?
already.
You don't want to know the name too? Want to know who is the businessman involved?
Children talking.
Who is the businessman
They see
involved?
a lot of
You're talking
private
about
meeting going down.
$800,000. Master Kalal, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, government revenue, disappear in thin air. And they don't want to call the man name. If it's a poor person that's still a ram goat in him, they're on TV.
If it was a man who going to take her to coconut, he going inside.
In him, they're on TV.
Yes, caller.
Hello.
Even the opposition senators have the right, that was not just the senators, but like Dr. Mitchell and them have the right to ask the government that question concerning the port. Because
Yes, they could.
Seeing that government is settling the matter, government has to give a report.
Well, it was in government interest to settle the matter because they know. They know what the public didn't want. They didn't want the public to know.
No, but
Yes. His Majesty's opposition could seek information.
The Yeah, they're supposed to lay that question.
And I believe those questions will be asked because the people want to know. And if they're representing the people.
That one thing that the question is asked because I too want to know what happened. And secondly, the commissioner of police, is he fired? Have he resigned also? We're not hearing anything.
Well, maybe you're on leave or something like that, and that could happen. It could be on leave.
Yeah, but shouldn't that notice be given? If the commissioner of police goes and leaves, instead of just saying somebody acting, shouldn't it be public knowledge?
Okay.
Yes, the question is supposed to be asked.
I agree.
And perhaps the Minister of Information or
Minister of National Security will be the one to address all the
You
commission.
can have the Commissioner of Police just out and you're saying somebody acting. They're supposed to tell us what happened with the Commissioner of Police. And we find it was since this government came in, the Commissioner of Police position was sort of looking to me.
All right.
So that's why I'm asking that, and I will hope that the authorities ask.
Well, I'm sure persons who you speak about, like the senators and maybe a parliamentary representative for the NNP would be listening, so they would know that some of the constituents want to know. So I think they'll do justice to it.
Right, because I see that they take up the slot on Wednesdays now, and I think that's very good for the opposition side, and we want to hear from the opposition side. So I think that's a step in the right direction for them.
Okay.
But they must keep us more in the know.
Right.
Not just print on Facebook and whatnot. Get the public to know directly. Because some people look on Facebook and they want to know.
All right. KB, and there's information to suggest, but I like the nurses.
The nurses and them, they will go.
Not that. So the nurses then realize they say never negotiate gate at a position of weakness. The same time you go to negotiate, be at a position of strength. So it is information to suggest the nurses watch while you're at it. We want $1,000 for uniform allowance.
What is it?
Well, this is under consideration.
Hello?
You know, see, why is you at it?
Yes.
Your funds. Your funds.
Hello?
Kevin.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, hearing you.
I understand. I don't know how true it is, that Mr. Martin is on leave. I don't know how true it is. You understand?
Okay.
And if they want to know, if the Grenadian people want to know who is the person on the boat, GBN and MTV could come and ask me, I go tell them. I go tell them. So GBN and MTV, always at the terminal, come.
You don't want to let them come and ask you to?
Come, I go tell all you.
You don't want to let them ask you?
Station the radio because I don't want to sue this radio station because that's how we get new information. Come and test me, let me tell all you. Because the Grenadian people know. People say they don't want to come and tell us. We know already. Culture telling you.
Yes, culture
And
telling you.
the job workers and them. And the security used to be there at the time. They know who it is.
Just don't collect no bomb check.
Yes, and the bomb check. So we know. So when they only pretending they don't think. I bet we was under NNP, they call them and they jumping up. They take in jail. So they don't say nothing. They were calling Pastor Simon, pray Pastor Simon for that person. Because he's a praying man in Grenada. Pray. Pray that name no call. Pray, sir.
I know who.
Yes. But Mr. Martin, somebody, one of the police officer told me to ask him, he said, he tell me he on leave.
Okay.
Yes. So that is in Grenada. But we know I want to put.
We know the name.
And then while we are
You know too,
I don't know. Kevin don't know. Kevin know. We just I don't know Kami.
Don, they go talk when.
Okay.
They go talk.
All right.
We don't know.
All right, take care. Thanks, Kami.
And while we are at it, KB,
10 minutes left, guys.
the people want to know where is the cabinet conclusion for the $292
The man say he have it, you know.
No, the people want to see it. Because the people need to make up their mind.
Baby just say he have it.
Because no, and I don't even acknowledge in that name you call it now, man. That is blasphemy.
Yes, I tell him
that is
about
blaspheming.
Don't play with God's name and things.
No,
Stupidness, man.
he says 290, but there's information out there to suggest is manifestly certified false. So satisfy the people by showing us, seeing is believing.
Keep it going to Jeff.
Who is to ask him?
Seeing is believing.
Who will ask him to come and make an apology for such?
We can't say apology. If he have it, show us.
Yeah.
If we need to apologize, we go do it. And if he need to apologize, he should do it. But unless he don't show us, we won't know. And that is a simple thing. So while we're at it, so whilst we're asking who was the names or who was the beneficiaries of the port fiasco, living there without thing, we want to know who are the persons involved. And at the same time, we are asking the Honorable Prime Minister to present facts, present the cabinet conclusion for the 290,000 because the people want to know.
Imagine that if it was a poor man that steal a goat, they all over TV. This person get away with $800,000.
Money passing on the side, I can't tell them, man.
Solid taxpayers' money.
Money passing.
You get away scotch-free. They afraid to call your name?
Free paper.
So unfair.
Okay, but the truth is never far behind, eh?
I hope so.
It just come out, man. Everything happen in the fullness of time, KB. Sometimes if you go, just like I tell you in carnival time, KB, a lot of people jump up to anything they playing. And after carnival, they tell them, but that was a good song, but they never listen it. So we know it's the time we get to listen to good songs. Because we didn't hear them song on radio. The people know. So the nurses
are... So the nurses are... I was going to tell about them. So the jamming me with $1,000.
Whilst you at it,
yeah.
The uniform allowance is $750, but we want $1,000.
1,000, yeah. Showing that.
Plus, so why is you at it? No.
What was the response?
They say it's under consideration. You say, why is you giving gifts? We want give us that.
Yeah, just add that to it.
Remember the man in a position of authority. The man offering gifts. I tell you, go and check the definition for yourself.
Corruption.
Because Dr. Mitchell offer a call a soup. I say I want ham. I see Dr. Keith Mitchell treat her like an outcast. Now take this smoker in. Take this susu. So they bring this susu one for the teachers now, like they bring this susu one for the nurses, but you can say take susu. So the nurses say, why is you giving give us a decent hand? We're looking for an addition of 250. 250 on the uniform. I feel you go by the police next.
The prison officers.
Police, maybe they coming by all next.
What's about the prison officers? They offer them anything?
KB, I can only tell you what I know. Don't ask me what I don't know.
What's on? What's on the TV? What's on?
Because, and Marilyn, very good question. Because the chairman of cabinet then, as alleged, when they make that allegation happen, I spoke to the chairman of cabinet then, and he refused the claim of the 290. So they were asking the present chairman of cabinet to bring it, come with it. So we will be able to make proper assessment as to what it is and know who we could trust with the truth.
What is amazing, all the allegations, they can't go to court with it?
If you ever go to court with mere allegation, that'll walk in.
All right, guys, let's take the last and final call.
Hello?
Hello?
Pastor Carl,
hey.
That's why I cry.
Yeah.
Because the man say he have the cabinet conclusion. So if he have the cabinet conclusion, who signed it? Who signed it? Who was the chairman of cabinet then?
And if you feel the man in that, what?
Master Carl, that's why I cry.
Philly man will get jail.
Asaka, just keep up the tempo. Keep up the
The
tempo.
nurses say, why is the nurses, if you have information to suggest that the nurses say, well, why is you giving gifts? We want something on the uniform.
Exactly, you're giving gifts. We don't want gifts fall under. We don't want gifts fall under.
Santa Claus, you know when you're naughty, you know when you're nice.
They will go by the police with these gifts. They will go by
No,
the police with these gifts.
they pass by the teachers already, so maybe the police next.
Prison officers too.
If they only go by the police with these gifts, a lot of arrests will take place.
There's information to suggest that somebody close to the present administration had a discussion in the prison and tell them, like, look for the situation going forward, go be bleak. Ban your belly.
Tell them how much the man charge per hour.
No. They go find out. No, we don't go in there.
They will find out.
We don't puffin them with information, KB.
We don't puffin them.
We can't shame to say that.
No, let me leave there. There's information to suggest a grandchild. He said, yes, a grandchild.
How much the man charge an hour to talk to the prisoners, prison officers?
KB, let me couch meeting. They say a grandchild was asked for. I don't know, a grandchild. I don't know.
A grand. They want a grand.
1 hour? You can pay them.
Igwe, we have how much more minutes?
5 minutes.
Well, if we get one call, we go take it and then we go. Tara.
Hello, afternoon.
Not yet. Give you. I don't know.
The number to call 442-0175.
School children want to know if next month they get in that thing again.
Imani, if it's one group of people I was sorry for, it's the Imani. Because they already had that problem before. And we want them right through the years. The NDC go take revenge on them.
Right.
They never believe.
Last and final call. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello, KB.
Hello?
Well, if they could give this money, they had to put back the money they take out on us. That is the money when we used to work in contract, and when they reach 2008, they take out 300. So put it back, because now they're there again.
I hope they will. They don't like poor people and they will give out that.
And KB, I don't see you in the market, you know. Why you shame to come back?
They fire me. What wrong with your market? They ban me from the market.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's history.
The knife KB long.
The knife him long.
They cut me through. They had a choice. Either stop come on this station or hush my mouth or I keep my job. I had a choice.
With the stroke of a pen.
I had a choice.
KB was giving an ultimatum. They said, don't be the people's spokesman and keep your work.
Yes,
well, tell them I say put back the money.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right, take care. All the best.
But KB, it is sad because information is out there to suggest that a lot of some of the Imanis won't reach good time next year. I have a lot of information on the Imanis.
That's good for the man.
Which we'll unpack in the next
Master
program.
Colorado, sorry for
Pull
them.
on the mic a bit. Pull on the mic a bit.
We'll unpack it in the next program.
I don't sorry for them. They make them go into when NDC came for they fire them. NNP took them back, go into their home, bring them on the job. And NDC beat them up right through. And around election time, they can't make one little lie for them.
And they get
I will make you permanent.
Sweeten them with that.
And that alone was enough to cause them to vote against NNP.
No, but KB, I have a point here now. I feel like Greg Rice actually the daughters take a little longer.
Yes.
To find out the works of the father. And a lot of them
I'm
is
sorry,
daughters.
I'm sorry for those man.
A lot of them is daughters.
I do
So
sorry.
they take a little
for
longer.
those men.
Because even it is recorded in book of scriptures. When the man was on the cross, when the word became flesh and so on, he said forgive them, for they know not what they do. So KB, forgive
Watch
them.
how easy the serpent deceive.
Maybe you shouldn't forget, but
watch how easy the serpent deceive Eve.
You have one last call, KB. You want to take it?
Yeah, let me take it, man. Because the people. Hello?
Yes, Master Call, KB.
Hi.
No, you all laughing, but this is serious.
I don't laugh in that.
I don't laugh in too.
Go ahead.
All right, this is serious business. This thing on the put if is a minister or whosoever that is involved in that, They should be disciplined. They should not be in the parliament of this country.
Even if
because
it's me.
you cannot be robbing this country. I am just showing all that for people to understand. You cannot be doing that. You cannot be representing the people and robbing the people. That is wrong. That is morally wrong. That is a criminal act, and it deserves punishment by law. I am just letting you all know that, and I am saying that to say, KP, while you might mention that you're not so sorry for them, I'm sorry for them because I know some of them going through a tough time. Some of them balling already. And I heard one say, "Oh God, I don't know where the next bread coming from." I mean, things are tough, it's true. But when you put them and you don't put program in place for them, and you put them on the bread line, and you put them to hungry, what you expect them to do? These governments are always advocating that these governments don't like people.
All right, caller. Thank you.
All right, thank
And
you.
have a blessed day.
Caller say Kibi is sorry for them. God with me.
Okay, you're good? You're good? You're good? We good? All right. All right, folks, till next week Sunday again.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show.
The new driver cannot drive.
Remember to hit the like button before you go. If you didn't hit the like
Subscribe and
and
share.
subscribe and share, all right? Stay there. Bye.
Things go on so bad. You'll find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me